Hello everyone, this is Praveen from ECE section VVIT University. My roll number is 24BQ1A0450. My topic is properties of linear time invariant system. Linear time invariant system. Uh, a system for which the principle of superposition and the principle of homogeneity are valid and the input-output characteristics do not with time is called the linear time variant (LTI) system. Linear time variant is nothing but a system for which the principle of superposition and the principle of homogeneity are valid for input or output. It is called linear time invariant. Now, linear time invariant system theory is also used in image processing. It is also used in image processing, where the systems have spatial dimensions instead of or in addition to a temporal dimension. These systems may be referred to as linear translation invariant to give the terminology the most general reach. Now, these systems may be referred to. It is also referred to linear translation invariant to give the terminology the most general reach. Now, properties of linear time invariant system. It is also called as LTI system. A continuous time LTI linear time invariant system can be represented in terms of its unit impulse response. It takes the form of convolution integral. Hence, the properties followed by continuous time convolution are followed by the LTI system or linear time invariant system. The impulse response the impulse response of an linear time invariant LTI system is very important because it can completely determine the characteristics of an linear time invariant system. Now, linear time invariant system are four types of properties. They are commutative property of linear time invariant system, distributive property of linear time invariant system, associative property of linear time invariant system, and last one, causality property of linear time invariant system. First one, commutative property of linear time invariant system. The commutative property of LTI, nothing but a linear time invariant system, states that the order in which you apply the input signal and the system's impulse response does not change the output. Out does not change the output. The convolution in which in continuous time is a commutative operation, that is x of t into whole bracket h1 of t plus h2 of t, right, is equal to x of t into h1 of t plus x of t into h2 of t. Now, the distributive property, second one. Distributive property of linear time invariant system has a useful interpretation in terms of system interconnection. Hence, according to this, the two LTI system, linear time invariant systems with impulse response h1 of t into and h2 of t connected in parallel can be replaced by single system with impulse response h1 of t plus h2 of t. Also, the distributive property of continuous time convolution can be used to break a complicated convolution into several simpler convolutions. Convolution is a commutative. The core of property is the commutative nature of the convolution operation itself. Input and impulse response are interchangeable. You can think of the input signal and system's impulse response as interchangeable when it comes to calculating the output of an linear time invariant. Also, LTI system applies to linear time invariant LTI systems. This property is a fundamental characteristics of a linear time invariant system, continuous and discrete systems. Now, the commutative property holds true for both continuous time and discrete time linear time invariant system. Second one, distributive property of linear time invariant system. The distributive property of a linear time invariant system states that convolution is distributive over addition, meaning that a signal convolved with the same of two other signals is equivalent to convolving the signal with each of the other signals individually and then summing the results. The convolution the convolution is continuous time distributes over addition, that is x of t into h1 of t plus h2 of t, x of t into h1 of t plus x of t into h2 of t. The distributive property of linear time invariant system has interpretation in terms of system interconnection. Hence, according to this, the two LTI systems, linear time invariant systems with impulse responses h1 of t and h2 of t connected in parallel can be replaced by a single system with impulse response h1 of t, h2 of t. Also, the distributive property of continuous time convolution can be used to break complicated convolution in several components. Several simpler convolution. First one, system interconnection. The property allows for the simplification of complex linear time invariant system interconnections. A parallel connection of systems can be replaced by a single equivalent systems. Now, third one, breaking down convolution. Fourth one, it also enables breaking down a complicated convolution into several simpler convolution, making analysis easier. Fifth one, system designs. It designs a system. Sixth one, this property is a fundamental in the design and implementation of LTI linear time invariant system, as it provides a way the combine of decomposed system functionalities. Now, third one, associative property of linear time invariant system. The associative property of linear time invariant system states that the order in which multiple LTI linear time invariant system are cascaded does not affect the overall output, meaning that the convolution of signals with impulse response can be grouped in any way without changing the final result. The convolution in continuous time is associative, that is x of t into h1 of t into h2 of t equal to x of t into h1 of t into h2 of t. Therefore, according to the associative property, the signals can be convolved in any order. Now, this property allows us to combine multiple multiple linear time invariant system in a cascade into a single equivalent system by simply convolving their individual impulse responses. Now, the effective impulse response of a series of LTI linear time invariant systems is the convolution of their individual impulse responses, and its calculation is unambiguous due to associativity. In series systems, imagine two linear time invariant systems connected in series, where the output of the first system becomes the input of the second system. Impulse responses. The final system has an Impulse response, let's call it H1 and the second has H2. Thank you.